most inspiration for like life talks and life chats in the most unconventional places, which is kind of like now. But I saw a tweet, and it really kind of last night, and I saw the tweet last night, and I think I screenshotted it, and I'll include it here. And it really kind of has been on my mind, not really on my mind, but it really got me thinking. And it kind of talks about how we used to think that quitting is such a failure, when the reality is sometimes quitting is a better option. And what I mean by that is something, and I thought this was a great opportunity to kind of talk about something that I never really talked about on my channel before, or really a lot of people kind of just may have figured it out. And it's really, this is probably just dramatic, but I was, for the first part of 2020, I was in grad school, right? It was a program that was already online. So even when, like I said, I started grad school, when did I start grad school? I started it 2019 summer 2019. So obviously it went into 2020 or what have you. So it was already online. It was a school that was already online. So like the transition to online school wasn't anything new. I was already familiar with that. However, I just realized that it wasn't really the best, how do I say this without, I'm trying to make sure I get the words right. But like, I feel like I had to kind of, at first I just took a break. Like I thought it was going to be a break. And I think it is still kind of a break. I do still want to go back and get my degree eventually. But I just felt like the program that I was in, and it's really not a shame because like it was some great professors. It was a kind of a Christian-based program. And that's not to say like I quit because I don't love the Lord or anything. Like it's not like that at all. I just felt like the program really wasn't, I don't know, it was one of those things where you kind of just feel like, okay, I am putting in all this time, energy, money. I was draining my, finances to continue to pay for school. And I just really like was, after the summer semester had ended, and it was also another thing about the school, it kind of was like so quick. Like I did school from summer 2019, I did fall 2019, I did spring 2020, summer 20, like I hadn't had a break with school, right? Like I just had not had like a break. So I had just kept going. Like, in college you have your breaks, like you have your summer breaks, or sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But I had just been going straight through school, and it was like I said, the program was feeling at that point so like, I don't know, like it just wasn't, I wasn't connecting with it anymore. And so I really just sat down, I was like, I need to stop this. Because, and it was like, I felt like, because I'm working all day at home, and then you get off of work, or you log off of work if you're working from home now, what have you, and then you got to log into school, and it was just like, it was so draining, it was just so much. And like I said, I felt like such a failure for like when I told Mom, I was like, Mom, I just don't think I can go back to school right now, I can't. And she was like, honestly, I don't know, like I'm not mad, I'm not surprised, because again, you have been going through school, it's just straight in grad school. First of all, grad school is no joke. It's not like it's not like undergrad where you can kind of lollygag around. Not the case at all. Which I knew, obviously, that. But yeah, at first I was so ashamed. I was like, how can I explain to people that I'm taking a break from grad school? Because I think everyone, again, has that expectation that you go through grad school, that you do it, but they don't tell you about. And then let me just also say, going to grad school in a pandemic adds like a whole different layer of, again, because we're adjusting to this new world. Like I said, I'm now working from home, I'm living at home, I'm going to school at home, I'm doing everything at home. So it's like the lines are just blurred as to what is life anymore, really, right? Like we barely know what day it is, we barely know what time it is, we barely, am I eating? Like it was just so many things and so many factors. And it's like sometimes, but I will never forget that first day, because like I said, I've been out of school since summer 2020. I finished my semester in like June or July or something, what have you. And I remember the first day that like I didn't have to worry about like school, how just like I just did like a deep, just like I just felt like I could breathe, like I could just sit down. I could log off of my computer from work and then just go do my day. Like, I could just relax. I could watch TV. And that sounds so juvenile, but again, when it's so emotionally, and then, like, let me tell you, I was in this ethics class that wasn't even like an ethics, it was like philosophy. And first of all, me and philosophy have never gotten along. I didn't like it at undergrad. Definitely did not rock with it in graduate school. So it was just so, it broke me so much. And that's why I was like, I can't do this. But I was so scared to quit, when the reality is sometimes quitting and walking away from things or taking a break from things is better than staying. And I mean, that can apply to anything, friendships, relationships, anything. Like, why stay if it's just doing more harm than good? And now that I've had that time off, you know, I can kind of assess and look at different programs, because like I said, again, the school was great, but I just don't think it was the program for me. It's not what I expected. And then I think also, though now probably the world will be online now for the rest of our lives, but at that time, you know, the whole online thing, it just wasn't, I don't know, it was a lot of factors. But again, I felt like I had to stick with it because everyone was expecting me to graduate, expecting me to finish. And I do, like I said, I plan to go back. I want to finish. I'm not giving up on grad school, but I think that program and that the time and the season right now is not the best for me. So anyone who is watching this video and is in grad school right now or undergrad, shoot, I really do salute you and I applaud you. Even in my line of work, you know, I work for a university, and right now we have our graduation coming up, and I'm meeting students and interviewing students for spotlights for social media, and they're just like, I thank you so much for, you know, recognizing me, because this has been such a year. And I'm like, I applaud you. Like, I really am genuinely happy for you, because I know this is rough. I know, I can only imagine what this has been like for you. So I think that I applaud the people who can do it, but I just was not one of them. Not right now. Like, that's just not in my season, in my timeline. And again, I thought it was so much shame about how do I tell people I kind of dropped out? Like, I don't really think I told a lot of people. I think they kind of figured it out, you know, because like if you go to my stories, or if you've been following me, like, you know, I used to post when Chig would drop my boxes off and everything. And I just didn't do that these past few semesters, because again, it's not something you like publicly announce. But again, that tweet kind of sparked a conversation, because again, I wanted to utilize my life talk spaces for this time to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you will. And this is one of those things that was bad and ugly. Like, I just legit was like, I was just so stressed. And even like, I would text Blake every day, like, I'm going to have a breakdown today. I would cry almost like once a week, again, because that philosophy class. And granted, I had the sweetest professor. Like, she was honestly, I think, one of the nicest professors. Like, I would text her and be like, girl, I just can't do this right now. And she would literally walk me through it, you know. And she lived in Hawaii, so I could call her, and it worked better because I'm, you know, the time difference. So like midnight here was like, I think like 9 or something there or something. She would like call me whenever. And so she was really nice. So it was not her. She really worked with me and worked through me. But that class really just broke the hell out of me. And again, not a lot of people talk about, everyone talks about the glorious sides of being in grad school, or the rewards, or the, you know, you get a better check or get a better career opportunity, blah, blah, blah. But no, I don't think I've really seen a lot of people talk about the stress and the like, oh my God. Grad school especially, you kind of are just going straight through it. Like I said, I was in there summer 2019, fall 2019, spring 2020, summer 2020. That was back to back straight. I didn't have a break. And mind you, again, because the program I was in was kind of like shorter, it was like 8-week courses and 8-week blocks. So they are jamming information in you in an 8-week time. And it's like, oh my God, I am losing my mind, on top of trying to now adjust to my work life, being at home, on top of trying not to get corona, on top of just the world going in shambles, on top of, and again, this was the time where we were having all this stuff with, you know, George Floyd and like Breonna Taylor and all that stuff, like trying to do all of that at once. It's literally like when SpongeBob is running around and everything is like on fire. That's how I felt in my life. And I felt like, again, I just couldn't do it. But again, that first time where I like logged off of work and was done with my day and could just sit and watch TV, oh my God. I think I texted my mom, was like, oh sweet Jesus, this feels amazing. So that's why I kind of wanted to make this video, to kind of talk about the goods of quitting sometimes. And really, it's not quitting, it's just taking a break. or reassessing. And I think you have to do that, again, in many aspects of life. Like, sometimes you just have to step back. I've talked about that kind of before, even with influencing or content creation. When you're doing so much and you're going so, like, just bam, 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 shooting out content, thinking of things, doing this, trying to keep up with everybody, keep up with the trends, Instagram dropping reels, God, like, it's too much. Not to be dramatic, but it is. And it's like, sometimes you just gotta be like, all right, pause. And even I think, I was watching one of Maddie James's live, and she was kind of talking about that in her live. Like, I think I screen recorded and maybe concluded here, but it was, I hope I don't mess this up, but it was like, if you try to be good at everything, you're really good at nothing. But if you try to be good at, like, I think I'm messing that up, but basically it was saying, it was basically kind of saying, like, if you try to do too many things, if you try to do too much, you're not going to be good at it, or it's going to come out like you can't dedicate 100% to everything. But if you kind of focus on, like, a few core things, you know, then it will work out. I say all of this to say, and the kind of focus of this impromptu kind of, like, let's talk, let's chat, is really, like, sometimes you have to look at things not as quitting and being a failure, but more so as either resetting. And it's like that quote, you know, we've seen it all of our lives, like, restart, reset, reassess. I think it's like restart, something, whatever. I'll find it as many times as you need to, because that's the case in life. And, like, again, I think we have been so conditioned to think that if you don't succeed at something the first time, you fail, or if you don't do it according to the template of life, then you fail. And again, that was where I struggled with, like, do I make this decision to stop going to school and risk getting behind or not graduating in 2 years, or et cetera, when the reality was literally, like, it was draining me financially. Like, it was financially draining me, breaking me mentally. So why the hell am I still doing it? It's not going to get me to it's not fast tracking my career any faster. I'm not going to be done any faster if I'm broke and having a breakdown every night. Like, it's not what's really going on here. So I think we're so conditioned in life to think that you're a failure immediately if you don't get it right. Really kind of what this quick life talk update short thought is. I know that was a lot. But again, I just kind of, that tweet has really kind of been on my mind, and it really kind of, again, inspired me to speak up, because again, I think not a lot of people speak up about the bad things, or when they quit, or when they fail, when the reality is maybe this may be what somebody needs to hear. There may be, again, someone, especially in the middle of a pandemic, who may be in grad school struggling and think that I can't quit because it'll look weird or people will judge me. But baby, listen, again, we are in the middle of a panoramic, as Twitter says. We are in a panoramic right now. I don't care what no one says. There is nothing that no one can say to you to shame you for taking a break from school, or taking a break from whatever it is you need to take a break from: life, work, school. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be anything. We are in a panoramic. We have never been here before. And that's a lesson I had to learn about a lot of aspects of life. I'll use the example of fitness. I haven't gained a lot of weight, but I have seen changes in my body that were not there before. And I still get, you know, a little down on myself, like, okay, damn, did I really need this piece of cake? Whatever, or what the case may be. But again, I had to remind myself in a tweet kind of a few weeks and earlier in this that I saw that I really resonated with, is that you're literally just trying to survive a pandemic, right? So it's like, and again, I think a lot of it came from when I was in school. I was chugging out papers, chugging out work, doing all of this. I didn't have time to make a healthy dinner. Bruh, I just had to go grab, like, takeout. Like, if it was a special on takeout, I grabbed takeout. And it's like, I can't be mad at that, because it was like, I had to finish this paper, I had to do my work, but I also had to survive and give my body fuel the best way I could. In that moment, that fuel was some Chinese takeout. I can't meal prep every night and try to do all these things. So again, it's like, we have to remind ourselves that we are literally, it's trying to survive a pandemic. So however that looks, however that, you know, kind of appears in your life or in your whatever you're doing. So again, that kind of applies to, you can't be so hard on yourself. And that's why I was like, you know what, okay, like I said, I didn't really gain weight, but so what, my body is changing, so what, we got a little extra thickness, it's all good. Like, it is what it is. So again, I say this and kind of wanted to make this video for people who feel like they are, you know, again, and I kind of always talk about this on my page, in that feeling of feeling like you're not where you're supposed to be or what you're supposed to be doing. But the reality is, and the thing I've learned about life is, girl, ain't nobody been here before. Like, yes, our parents have kind of been here before, can impart their knowledge and their wisdom and what have you on us, but still, it's not like they've lived your life before, right? Like, no one has been Kirsten Nicole before. So I can't be mad at myself for not having all the answers or not knowing what I'm doing, when, hell, ain't nobody been here before. I ain't been here before. I have never, like, you know, I've only known the past, but I can't see in the future. I can only tell what's really happening in the present, what's happened in the past, but I can't talk about the future, because, hell, I don't know what's going on. I'm just here for the vibes, really. That's how I feel about life. Like, I just be here vibing. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. There's this quick video, which really isn't that quick because it's a little, like, 20 minutes, but again, that tweet really stuck out to me. So to anybody who is thinking about quitting grad school or taking a break, if you feel like you need to do it, do it. And I'm speaking from experience. Yeah, this is, like I said, my life talks be so literally sporadic and impromptu. I will see something that will kind of spark a thought, and then the thought transforms into a video. So yeah, hope you guys are staying safe and staying well, and I will see you guys on the next chat. Bye.